and welcome back. As you all know, we are learning about the events of JavaScript over a few lectures. In the previous lecture, we learned about mouse events in JavaScript, and today we are going to see the window events. So without wasting any more time, let us get started. Well, what exactly are these Windows events? Now, JavaScript window events are associated with the Windows object defined for describing the events. So using JavaScript window events is the most conventional and reliable method to represent and manipulate the existing events. This is the list of the window events that we are going to see today. OnError event, OnLoad event, OnResize event, OnPageshow event. Without any further ado, let us get started with these events one by one. OnError event. The OnError attribute fires when an error occurs while loading an external file, for example, a document or an image. Now let us see an example and understand it. A function, myFunction, is triggered if an error occurs when loading the image. The function shows an alert box with a text. In this example, we refer to an image that does not exist. Therefore, the OnError event occurs. Now let us see the output. The alert box is displayed because the image has an error uploading. Now let us move on to our next event, that is OnLoad. The OnLoad attribute fires when an object has been loaded. OnLoad is most often used within the body element to execute a script once a web page has completely loaded all the content, including images, script files, CSS files, etc. However, it can be used on other elements as well. See supported HTML tags below. Now let us see an example. In the myFunction, we have created an alert message. We have assigned that function to the OnLoad event of the page. Let us see that output. When the page is loaded, the message gets displayed on the page. Let us move on to our next event, which is OnResize event. The OnResize attribute fires when the browser window is resized. Let us see an example. In the example, there is a function called myFunction, which is assigned to the OnResize event of the body. In that function, there is an alert. So when the body of the window is resized, the alert will be displayed on the browser. Let us see the output. When we resize the browser window, the alert is displayed. Well, wasn't that interesting? Next event is OnPageshow event. The OnPageshow event occurs when a user navigates to a web page. The OnPageshow event is similar to the OnLoad event, except that it occurs after the OnLoad event when the page first loads. The function myFunction event is assigned to the OnPageshow event of the body. The alert will display when the user navigates to the page. Let us see the output. When we open the browser, the alert is displayed. Well, that is it for this event, guys. Here is an easy assignment for you all. Use the OnPageshow event and display an alert, "Hello user" on the page. Well, now this is the time for our last type of event, which is the keyboard event. I'm pretty sure, just like the last lecture, you will find this type of event interesting as well. Let us see the subtypes of the events that we are going to see in this lecture. This is the order of events which occurs when user interacts with the keyboard onKeyDown. The event occurs when the user is pressing a key onKeyPress. The event occurs when the user releases a key. Keyboard events describe a user interaction with the keyboard. Each event describes a single interaction between the user and a key or combination of a key with modifier keys on the keyboard. So let us jump onto our first type of event, which is onKeyDown event. The onKeyDown event occurs when the user is pressing a key on the keyboard. Let us see an example to understand this. The function myFunction is triggered when the user is pressing a key in the input field and shows an alert on the screen. The function is assigned to the onKeyDown event of the input field. Let us see the output. Now try to enter something in the input field. Great, the event has been triggered and the alert message has been displayed. Now let us quickly move on to our next keyboard event, which is onKeyPress event. The onKeyPress event triggers when you press any key from the keyboard. This is a keyboard event. There is an input field and the function which alerts the user about key pressing is set to the onKeyPress event. So whenever you enter something in the input field, there will be an alert message on the screen. Let us see the output. When you enter something, the alert message will display. I know you must be thinking that onKeyDown and onKeyPress events work the same. So what is the difference? Let me tell you what the difference is. KeyDown event fires when any key is pressed down. It fires first and always before the browser processes the key. Example, inserting text, moving focus, etc. KeyPress event fires when a key that produces a character value is pressed down. It fires after KeyDown and before the browser processes the key. And now it's time for the last event, which is onKeyUp event. The onKeyUp event occurs when the user releases a key on the keyboard. We took an input field inside the browser and then assigned the field's name to the variable x. After that, we applied the uppercase method to x. Basically, a function is triggered when the user releases a key in the input field. The function transforms the character to uppercase. Let us see the output. Let us enter something in the input field. The letters are transforming into uppercase. Well, wasn't that cool? Alright then, on that note, we have reached the end of this lecture. Try each example on your own and we will meet very soon in the next lecture. So till then, stay connected and yes, stay safe. Bye.